Welcome to How to Build Your Brand with Influencers and Get Results. Here, I'm going to expose you to 5 steps, an overview, and the 411 on influencer marketing and getting clear on the type of influencer that you want to be or the type of influencer that you want to work with. Whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're a blogger, whether you're a coach, or whether you're a brand and you want to build and create your brand with the community, how to find influencers, where you might find them on different platforms, as well as phenomenal platforms on where you can create campaigns, where you can list yourself if you're an influencer, where, speaking of which, how to create and grow campaigns, and how to set up the metric matters so that you know that your campaigns are working. So let's get into the behind.
We have the chance to actually build our own businesses as influencers. You'll have the chance.
Hi, I'm Katrina a lifestyle entrepreneur and a transformation coach. And you're probably curious about what's my background as an influencer and or working with brands and how I've built my brand with influencers as well. So a little bit about me. Over 4 years ago, I lost over 55 pounds with the help of Herbalife Nutrition, 6-pack meal bag. I'm also a CPA and consistently made other industries and brands 7 to 9 figures year over year, working in over 8 industries. As an influencer, my very first year sharing my before and after on social media, just on Facebook, my business blew up over 25 times. Not typical, but possible. So I recognize the story and the power of story sharing, authenticity marketing, curiosity marketing, relationship marketing, and experience marketing. So my brain started to explode and apply all these different things that I had learned from the past, learning brand new things from influencers, learning brand new things from So with influencers, as a brand, as Fit Life Creation, following love in all we do, impacting people, transforming the mind, being an all-in-one health, wealth, and business brand, think Amazon meets Airbnb for transformation with an influencer marketing and a fundraising twist. We've personally connected, created, and cultivated with over 3,000 influencers. You guys, I completely lost count. That number was only from January to March of this year. On platforms from Ninja Outreach, to Hype Market, to Rep, to Collaborate, to direct messaging, to sourcing for influencers, to automated platforms, to so much more. We've had earned media on a per campaign basis, over $1 million. Our return on investment has been over 1,000 to 3,000% per campaign, and the results that we're getting. And we're seeing consistent influencers wanting to connect and create and cultivate with us long term, from our 7-day challenge experiences into our mastermind, into our courses, into our experiences like our events and our retreats, and then into helping them create their own courses and their own lifestyle brand platform. So the social proof and the long-term relationships are exploding, as well as then brand placements and so much more. Platforms like Glambassador, platforms like Blogger Bridge, so much more.
What feels like promoting perfectly and authentically. So here's the sneak peek, so enjoy.
to how to build your brand with influencers and get results, and a sneak peek into our In a Week course, or how to get the insider scoop as an influencer and stand out. You're going to learn all about our 5-step system and the tips, the tools, the technology, and some of the things that we do with hands-on and behind the scenes. So how to build your brand with influencers and get results, and the 5-step system. And if you haven't yet, definitely tune in to the video at the page on the webinar, because there I talk about, you guys, a lot of my background with lifestyle entrepreneurship as a transformation coach, losing over 55 pounds, my background with money as a CPA, working and serving with over 8 industries, having my own money in chaos because I didn't believe I was worthy, until starting to unravel that and transform that the last several years, and creating a lifestyle brand. And then my background with influencers, I'll talk about more in my intro as well. So here in the free webinar, I'm going to expose you to the overview of the course, and it's basically set up super duper simple, super duper accessible, whether possibly your brand or your company will pay this for you as continuing education, because maybe you guys are looking to do some things with influencer marketing. And you get this free sneak peek on the overview, influencers, platforms, campaigns, and metrics. And if you are a brand and you want to talk further on getting your team access to the course, and or getting help from myself and our community to help you build your own entrepreneurship or your own lifestyle press army with influencers, we also do that, and we can also create and integrate experiences and campaigns mutually and so much more. And this will also help serve you if you're an influencer or a coach or a blogger and you're either wanting to expand as an influencer and get, the inside scoop into how brands can look for influencers, what platforms you may want to be on that you're not on, what kind of campaigns you can position, or ways that you can pitch yourself for long-term campaigns, and then how they create and grow campaigns, and metrics that you can also list on your own media kits, you guys. Or if you're building your own platform or your own lifestyle entrepreneurship, and you look at what I'm creating, and you're like, I want to create that and build my brand with an influencer community as well of creators, then you're going to learn that here as well. So do you feel like there isn't enough time? Tech overwhelms you. You aren't sure where to start. You want to create community, but you're overwhelmed by so many different options. And you want it easier, and you want results, and you want to simplify your path to success. So why in a week? So if you haven't tuned in with us in the past, we have a very specific structure with our lifestyle brand. So we have, just to kind of give you insight, we have tons of freebies at the blog level, the podcast level, social media, webinars, expanding and creating a freebie library, which people that have created with us or created courses or in our community, they're going to have access to do that and list on our platform as a PR platform, as well as brands. And we also want people to look at things simply to get results. And so there's a couple of things in mind there. So that's the freebie platform. Then our intro offer starts with our 7-day online challenge, as simple as $35 along with a transformation pack. And then again, others are going to be able to list, and will be listing, just like Amazon or Airbnb, people listing their own challenges as we continue to create and cultivate as well community. And then you get into our $97 a month Creation Club monthly mastermind. So that creates, and creates community, creates ongoing revenue, creates stability, and so much more. Then we get into our in a week courses. So this is an example of our in a week course because we live, you guys, in a world and in a culture and in technology where people want things simpler and faster and easier. And so we've purposely and psychologically and intentionally structured things like this. Like as I'm walking you through, and a lot of this is in our profit path, in our moneymaker course, as well as in our monthly mastermind, as well as in our academy. And this is a lot of what I talk about at our events, our retreats, workshops, things we do within corporations and more. And the in a week is purposely and intentionally, I'm going to walk you through, set up, every single day so that you're geared and focused to take action every single day. And so you're getting the information and it's on you to save you time, simplify the text, seeing clearly, finishing fast, and lifetime access. You get everything in 5 days. It's on you to take action with each of the 5 parts. And then if you sign up with the course, not only do you get the 5 days, we're going to talk about some of the bonuses on days 6, 7, and into month 2. So we believe in powerfully setting you up for success. And if you don't get results, I can promise you it's because you didn't take action, because we're literally handing it to you. This is years of education, years of pain, years of walking up what it felt like sometimes climbing Mount Everest. Because think about if you weren't handed this, how much work and time it would take you to figure it out. So you'll get a roadmap. And then this is what we're going to walk you through, and I'm walking you through in this free webinar. And if you continue to stick around, you're going to get the behind the scenes, the actual, literally myself showing you how, evergreen learning, getting results, and exponential exposure. So who am I, and how did I get this experience with influencers, both as an influencer as well as building our brand with influencers? So a bit about my story and my background. I'm a lifestyle entrepreneur and transformation coach. It's time to simplify transformation and health, wealth, and business so you get the results and the life you love. I see you, my friend. I was once where you may be, feeling like I was in the wrong life despite doing all the things that people told me were right, people in quotes too. Not anywhere near the health I wanted, always tired and over 55 pounds heavier than I am today, always helping others pursue their dreams and making them 7 to 9 figures year over year in over 7 industries, yet feeling despite all my certifications and results, I was missing something deep inside. I'm also a CPA and an MBA, so that's what I'm talking about with certifications and results. Having tons of experience in multiple industries, yet unclear if I'd wasted my time in my life and about what it all meant. Massive frustration, continuing in the rat race and on the hamster wheel, wondering how on earth was I going to pursue my passion and my purpose with people and transform my life. Deep breath. I get it. The joy you see on my face in this pic had been missing for quite some time. Or when you see me on video or in person. Yet I was determined to find it again. And what you hear in my voice had been missing. That's why I'm so passionate about you creating a life and a business you love. Oops. Hashtag first world problems. Simplify, simplify, simplify. So we're going to be walking through 5 steps to get things done, saving time up front so that you simplify and you set it up to scale. When I say simplify, you guys, that is always my focus. And when I looked back on my history, I realized my gift was the ability to figure things out from scratch, taking in multiple perspectives, multiple people, multiple industries, multiple tools, simplifying it and setting it up to scale. And when I developed the ability to apply it to myself and believe I was worth it and also help others do the same, that's when things started to take off. So, how to build your brand with influencers. So here in this free webinar, you're going to experience the overview. In the course, you're going to have a little bit of a deeper dive on the roadmap, what's included, hands-on activities, and much, much more. Because I am a firm believer, you guys, of when you create something or when you're educating especially, you've got to realize on something new that people have massive levels of fear of the unknown and people doubt their capability. So it is your role, and just like it is my role, to equip you and set you up for success and confidence to instill in you that you can do this, whatever it is. Give it enough time, enough money, the right facilitator, the right guide, whatever it is, persistence and patience, you can do this and you will do this. If you take the action, believe in yourself, believe in others, meaning whether you choose to create with us or other communities, because you guys, this is a result of so much like persistence and patience. Investing in strategic coach, investing in Brendan Bouchard, investing in Shailene, investing in countless influencers that have created with us exponentially. I'm going to show you a couple behind the scenes videos and link to some of our influencer ambassador page. Over 3,000 applications just January through March of 2018 alone. Over 2,000% return on investment on campaigns repeatedly, you guys. And then as an influencer myself, when I shared my before and after story on Facebook alone in 2014, when I started to compete in fitness shows, I also do that. My business blew up 25 times organically with story, curiosity, experience marketing, and before and afters and testimonies on Facebook alone. So my brain started to blow up with the possibilities. So day 2, this is all about creating and finding ideal influencers or what audience you want to be part of as an influencer. So I'm going to share different insight into, we've been on over 7 different platforms, you guys, from Ninja Outreach to Glam Ambassador to Tribe to Rep app and so many more. I'm going to show you tons of behind the scenes in the course itself, but even if you decide to not create with a community in the course, definitely feel free to explore on our blog, on our podcast, and or feel free to write the platforms that I just mentioned down and apply something even from this free webinar. Because that's always the way I approached education, you guys. I wasn't always paying or investing for something. A lot of times I invested solely my time in a free webinar just like this, but I always, when I sat down, and that's still my mantra and my intention, had a notepad and what action items I was going to take immediately after the webinar. Because if you consume freebie after freebie after freebie and you continue to not create, you guys, what starts to happen is inside of your mind and inside of your heart, you have all this clutter. And you have this sometimes in the middle of the webinar or in the middle of a freebie or a presentation or an event, you will have this epiphany of, oh, I'm going to implement X. So you've literally made yourself a promise. Then, by not taking action, that sits inside of your mind or your body, no different than dirty dishes in the sink, trash in your car, laundry that's piled on your bed. It's clutter. And it's causing you to not be clear with clarity towards creating a life and a business you love. So even if you don't decide to create with us in the community, write down 2 to 5 things that you will do and do them immediately after the webinar. And I'm saying this for you guys, because if you decide to just listen and you're like, okay, cool, I learned some things, but you don't do anything, we still have opt-ins, we still have more social proof, we still have metrics, but you're not served. So I'm doing this or pushing you to take action to help you create a life and a business you love. Now, if you decide to create with us and you decide to get in the course, great. But even if you decide to solely listen in on this freebie or any other freebie in your future, don't just consume stuff. Consume and create. Consume and create. Because that's why creators like me do stuff like this, because it's from an aspect of service. And if another creator hasn't told you that, or they're just trying to push you towards an offer, I believe that's doing you a disservice because I'm not creating these freebies just to create them. I'm doing them to create and cultivate relationship with you guys and to connect with you. And for you to get value out of this, regardless of whether you decide to invest money at this time or not. Day 3, speaking of phenomenal platforms and creating it. So platforms and tips and tools. So I mentioned a couple of these already. So whether you're an influencer, you guys, or you're a brand, you want to think about different platforms in the aspect of giving you exponential exposure. So if you're only on as an influencer, for example, one platform, let's say you're on Tap Market, or let's say you're on, Hype Market. Well, you're only on 2. And understand, you guys, that brands aren't on every platform. So the more platforms you get on as an influencer, the better service it's going to do you because you're going to be seen more. Now in the course, we're also going to show you the behind the scenes with the platforms, how to add yourself, how to create campaigns, and more. As a brand, if you're only on one platform, let's say you've invested in Tap Market or Hype Brands or Tribe or Rep or Collaborate or whatever it is. If you're only on one, again, same concept. Not every influencer is on every platform. So they won't see you necessarily or they won't know that you exist, okay? The other component that I want to urge you is from an influencer perspective, it's always free to list yourself. So a lot of times I list myself just to get an idea of the behind the scenes with the platform and or leverage to see if maybe a brand will outreach to me. And then I can leverage with the community that we're creating for like a hospitality brand, for a trip, for integration with an event. So all kinds of different things with brand placements. If it's authentic and fits and it doesn't conflict with anything else. Because we are already creating our experiences with Herbalife, the #1 global nutritional brand. We integrate 6-pack bags. We integrate Plate Joy. We integrate Instacart. So we integrate Tailwind, Kajabi. So there's already so many brands on a health, wealth, and business aspect that I use and we connect and create, cultivate community with constantly. And I'm super big, you guys, on not simply saying yes just because someone's wanting to hand me money or value. So listen to what I'm saying, because years ago, if someone wanted to pay me for something, for the most part, it was like, okay, cool. But what I've realized with time is when you make money, you're so focused, and typically that's out of fear, you guys, then you end up saying yes to stuff that does not align. So even as an influencer, think about that. Like, what are you possibly saying yes to? Or what does your Instagram feed look like? Is it a collab every other post? And is it really stuff that you love? Or is it distracting you from your full passion and purpose in your story and your ability to help others or maybe create a lifestyle brand? And then as a brand, if you're investing in a platform, so this is what I learned also very early on, is I started to track my return on investment. Meaning, if a platform was trying to force me into $700, $1,000, $2,000, $5,000 or more a month for a 6-month or a year contract, I would laugh. So again, you guys, my background is CPA, and my background also is a ton of strategy, operations, and audits, and tracking faithfully ROI, meaning return on investment and what's coming back. I would laugh and I would say, okay, you want me to invest and commit $700 to $2,000, $5,000 plus a month. Well, what's your case studies? What's your proof that you're going to get me and our brand results and the kind of influencers I want? And you guys, a lot of influencer brands choked. And when I say choked, that I would come back assertively and say, hey, your platform looks great. The usability looks great. Thank you for the opportunity, or thank you for the free trial, whatever it was, before I even think to put my money there as a steward of money. Back to like some of my programs, you can take a peek of the 6-pack of wealth on the blog or the podcast. Then I need you to show me, case studies. And you guys, a lot of influencer brands that were asking for 500 or 1,000 or 2,000 or 5,000 a month could not produce a single case study. So to me, that brand is doing a disservice to, or that influencer platform is doing a disservice to their brands because they don't even have a proof of concept that they can prove. Now, maybe they do, but simply they haven't tracked it yet. So let me not, completely say that none of them do. But I found it astounding, you guys, that whether you're a brand or an influencer, like these are things to think about. I found it astounding that you could not give me a case study, give me a media kit, give me something that proved case studies. Earned media results, sales results, click-through results, all those things, you guys. And I also found a lot of, like when I researched different campaigns and different things that brands were doing, so this might be you, or this might be you as an influencer working with brands. I found it amazing that, wait a minute, you're paying influencers X per post. You're not creating a long-term, relationship. So already you're cutting off the long-term ROI. So that's kind of like hiring an employee only for 30 days and then letting them go. Or that's kind of like going on a first date and not even entertaining the thought of marriage. So it's instant gratification versus delayed, but if you're doing instant, your results are only going to go so far. So I started to realize where massive opportunities lie. So thinking about that as a brand, are you truly looking at the ROI on platforms if you are investing? Are you looking at the metrics per influencer on not just engagement and reach? So typically I see a lot of brands will look at reach, but they may or may not look at engagement to see if it's real. Influencer Marketing Hub is a great resource for that too, and we talk a lot about that in our course. Then are you assigning individual links to track the actual traffic that the influencer is driving? And if you're an influencer, if they don't provide you one, tell them, hey, I'm going to create one and I'm going to track my own links. And then that's something you can put on your media kit, okay? Then are you assigning the influencer an actual code that you can track their actual sales and the time it takes them to generate the first sale? And then influencers, if you're in a campaign, that's something you should be asking as well. Can you assign me a code so I can give a discount to my followers? And then can I get profit sharing out of the results? And even if they don't, in addition to a potential payment or experience, still ask them for the results at the end of the campaign. So on our platform, you can look at fitlifecreation.com ambassadors because we've also created our own platform. You can look at and see all the influencers we've connected, created, and cultivated with. We track influencer apps. And like I can tell you guys, it's well over 5,000 because on some platforms we've counted them, but I can't count all the DMs and different messages and different things too. I mean, we can, but it's basically like we have a 90%. Like I'm a big believer of like keep it as simple as possible and be very intentional on where you spend your time or your team's time. And then think about, how many influencers you're getting to come to you. How much time is your team spending? Like, do you have your own platform that they can come and apply like ours? You can feel free to explore there. Then, are you tracking, again, reach, engagement, all of that? We're going to talk more about that in Metric Matters, like tightening up your campaigns. Because when you're creating campaigns and growing them, you want to think about different elements, you guys. You want to think about, is there products involved? Is there brand placements? Is there an experience so that it shows up as super duper duper authentic? So for example, when we have our retreats or we have our events, we have our whole Fit Life Creation experience with clients, and then we have influencers placed in that. We have brands placed in that. So that's having hands-on health activities, hands-on money experiences, hands-on business experiences. So if you're an influencer, you want to think about, are you part of campaigns like that are basically abundance, like exponentially? If you're a brand, are you creating an experience because an experience with the product in it is very different. And it shows up very different. It's much more authentic. And are you asking influencers to create content before, during, and after with giveaways? And are you looking at the type of influencers that are getting results? Are you looking to see, again, their metrics? Are you looking at lessons learned? Are you looking at, maybe they create great content, but they're great solely for awareness, but not really results? Meaning, if you look at their platform, say on Instagram or Pinterest, they haven't yet monetized anything yet, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, you guys. But if you have influencers that aren't monetizing yet, understand that their current audience is used to them for content creation and sharing their life. They're not used to them monetizing. So this is an influencer that we created with Live More, Travel More. This is one of them. Again, you can go to fitlifecreation.com/ambassadors to see much more. And for example, like amazing travel content, amazing, like great vibe from a lot of different aspects. But when we first started creating with her, she was not monetizing. So I knew going in, okay, this is a long-term play. Like you may monetize at some point, and now she is. But it took her 7 months to get there. And some of your influencers may take longer. Like we also connected and created with Travel Luscious back in Cuba last year. And I like to track, even like if we, connect and create on a couple of collaborations, I like to track and just see what people are doing just for also informational purposes, even if they're not in a collaboration with us right now. And I noticed like right now, she just launched her first course. And so that's about 1.5 years, almost 2 years later. So, and she travels a ton, and obviously that's a choice and, different monetization ways. But as far as course creation or like direct things on a platform she owns, it was basically it was from February of 2017. And I just happened to notice literally today on a post that I saw. And another influencer was Social Girl Traveler. We noticed she launched a course about 2 or 3 months ago. So it was also about 1.5 years. Versus like our trajectory, you guys, or my own trajectory was, I first went and invested in Brendan Bouchard's High Performance Academy. And I went to his first event in March of last year. And I launched our first 7-day challenge within 2 months. So realize and recognize people have different time frames and different roadmaps to implementation. And that's one of the reasons why, as a community with Fit Life Creation, all of our courses, all of our experiences, live and online, drive implementation, because that's people's biggest fear. Like even our retreat in Brazil coming up, or other international retreats, or even local retreats, we drive implementation on site with health, wealth, and business, and hands-on. And then with the VIP or extensive experiences, like people create their courses. Or you might, you might want a custom retreat to literally walk through 5 days of doing exactly this, like building your brand with influencers and doubling your return. Or you might want us to help you create a platform over, say, 90 days. Or 6 months or a year, whatever it is, depending on if you want different components of lifestyle entrepreneurship. So you can definitely contact us with that too. And then as you grow campaigns as a brand, you want to think about tweaking metrics, tweaking influencers, tweaking platforms. It's constant, you guys. And then the same thing with influencers. You want to do an assessment every 3 months. Look at what campaigns you're a part of. Are you part of solely product? What does your Instagram look like? Is it product? Or do you want to start to take more of an experiential, like focused point? Maybe you want to collaborate with us and create with us. If so, please apply at fitlifecreation.com ambassadors. And maybe you want to help us. Maybe you've done several collaborations with travel bureaus or different things, and you want to refer them to us. And if you do that, we give you a minimum of 10% of the entire contract. And we assign you as the creative director because you're the one that has the relationship. So that's another avenue. Same thing with different brands. If you have a relationship with a brand or a fashion brand or something that's complementary and you want to introduce us or a hospitality brand or whatever it is, you want to introduce us for an upcoming event or integration online or whatever it is, that's something that we'll also explore. We recently did something like that with Tailwind, which is an amazing automation tool with Pinterest. We also integrate Kajabi in our online mastermind, which I'll talk about more. Speaking of which, Day 5 on Metric, we'll be talking about metric matters and walking through the exact metrics to help you as a brand make sure that you're creating campaigns and growing campaigns that are amazing and an action plan. And then also as an influencer, you can start to get insight into what metrics you're tracking, what you can add to your media kit. Bonuses over $2,000 worth, including Marketing Madness, Media Kit highlights, terrific testimonials, so both insights as a brand on marketing, on media kits, on terrific testimonials, things you want to look for, and as an influencer, plus 1 month in our club, which is our monthly mastermind, which includes health, wealth, and business. You'll get 14 days of a sneak peek and overview. You'll get the first 2 weeks, and then you can decide if you want to continue to create in the community. And we always give different bonuses every month, plus a transformation toolkit with tools like Herbalife, with different money tools, with different business tools, and much more. So, what does all this run? Because you might be thinking this is a huge investment. We're going to do a huge ask. I'm a big believer, you guys, of give more, take less. This is something that I've done my entire life, and it has served me exponentially. I was a corporate exec before 30, and I was making 6 figures before 30 because my level of effort and initiative and enthusiasm and value stood out. My last year in corporate, I generated with a team, with community, over $10 million of direct bottom line impacts. With that, this course, Build Your Brand with Influencers, that you would receive the entire 5-day course, plus bonus 1, Marketing Madness, promoting a course plus a 30-day plan. So you could use this to promote a course, but you could also use it to promote a campaign. Because this is something like maybe you're an influencer, this will give you an idea of how to pitch a campaign possibly to a brand. Bonus 2, terrific testimonials. If you're a brand, this will help you with how to get testimonials that matter for your course and or your brand and or your campaign. As an influencer, this will help you if you're creating campaigns or courses, testimonials for you, proof, story sharing, and more. Bonus 3, 1 month in Creation Club, our monthly mastermind valued at over $500, plus the transformation pack and toolkit I mentioned. Bonus 4, media kit highlights, valued at over $1,000 on basically insight into our own and my own media kit and how to list and position, but also how to be flexible. And you guys, all this is a $297 investment. And if you are with a brand and you would like to get 5 or 10 or 20 or however many people to get access into this course, then we do provide group discounts. We do provide profit sharing. And then if you also would love for us to do with that, we include a hands-on workshop, like a half a day or a day. And if you would also like to chat with me and chat with us about helping you create your own platform like we've done, that layers into other platforms that influencers can come directly to, then we can talk about that on retainer and other options as well as if you're interested in expanding and growing and creating a lifestyle brand aspect with online freebies, online blog, online podcasts, online courses, and basically expanding your own value creation and your own strategy, structure, and systems with money and with value as well, and creating community as well. So with that, I hope that gave you insight into how to build your brand with influencers and get results and create it, the life and the business you love. Chat soon.